Hey everybody. So last night, as you all probably know, was opening night in the NHL. There were 4 games last night with in the first night of action. And let me tell you, boy, did the star players show up on opening night. And not only, it's not like in one game or a few particular players really came to play. I mean, like across the board, star players showed up in almost all of these games for their teams. It's really, when you look at the stat sheet for all of these games, the names are just, I mean, it's exactly who you would expect, and it's crazy that on night one, so many star players have gotten themselves on the score sheet already and played such impactful roles in their in those games for their teams on the absolute first night of the season. Like just looking at the Toronto and Ottawa game, Tyson Barrie 2 assists in his first game with the Maple Leafs. Austin Matthews 2 goals last night for the Maple Leafs. Huge game for Matthews, who particularly plays very well on opening nights throughout his career. Morgan Rielly had an assist. Mitch Marner had an assist. John Tavares picked up a point last night. So Toronto's star players showed up. For Ottawa, Brady Tkachuk scored, so he's one of their top players. He got on the board as well. In Washington, or in St. Louis for Washington, Ovechkin got his first goal of the season in the first game. John Carlson had 2 assists. Nick Backstrom had an assist. For the Blues, Ryan O'Reilly had 2 assists. Alex Pietrangelo scored a goal. Like across the board, these players showed up for their teams, and they're the team's top players. Leon Draisaitl had a 3-point night in Edmonton, 1 goal and 2 assists. Connor McDavid scored the game-winning goal for the Oilers. In the Vegas San Jose game, Mark Stone had a goal and an assist. Riley Smith had 2 assists. William Karlsson had 2 assists. Like it's every big name player for these teams showed up. Quinn Hughes, Brock Besser both picked up points in that first game for Vancouver. Like across the board, it was just incredible how how many of these big name star players already got on the score sheets in one game for their teams. And there was a lot of scoring last night. 4 games last night, 4 hockey games, 8 teams played. 51 players recorded at least 1 point across the league. That is a lot of offense for only 4 hockey games. 4 hockey games and 51 different players recorded a point. That is really remarkable in my mind. That is a lot of scoring. And it's not like the games were overly high scoring. I mean, the Ottawa-Toronto game was 5-3, so that's pretty high scoring. But the Washington-St. Louis game was 3-2. The Edmonton and Vancouver game was 3-2. The Vegas San Jose game ended up 4-1. So it's not like it was overly high scoring, but 51 different players recorded points last night. That is really seems like a lot. I don't know what the normal number is for a 4-game stretch like that, or how many different players normally score over the course of 4 games, but it seems like 51 is a lot for only a few games. And tonight, we've got a lot more teams starting their seasons tonight across the league. So I just want to mention how much the star players, the big name players for all of these teams showed up on opening night and got their names on the score sheet. I guess it's not unexpected. These are the best players in the league, and you would expect them to show up, and you would expect them to play really well, but it's really, wouldn't have been surprising for it to take a little bit for some of these guys to get going. But that just doesn't seem to be the case. I mean, already for almost every one of these teams, it's been, there's top guys getting the scoring done and really making an impact very early on in this season. So that's pretty much all I've got on that. But the star players are showing up already, and I cannot wait to see if that carries over into tonight as well. With a bunch more games tonight, we'll see, who has huge game ones and who maybe doesn't. But with that, like, comment, share, subscribe, follow on social media. All those links are down in the description below. If you'd like to further support the channel, the links to our Patreon and merchandise store are down in the description as well. Keep spreading the word about this channel. Let's keep this thing growing. Thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll talk to you guys soon.